If The Witness is about anything aside from, well, doing lots of puzzles, it's about spirituality and sense, their parallels, their differences. It's fitting then that I've never been more aware of a game's creator than I was while solving my way through Jonathan Blau's Island Getaway. During the big breakthroughs, the how could I not have seen that moments, the times when light seemed too eminent for my monitor to bathe the face of Justin, the perfect puzzle-solving genius, Blow was a beloved companion. He was a proud papa who knew I would find the answer if I only persevered. During the minutes, sometimes hours, leading up to those breakthroughs, he was a cruel, cackling gremlin keeping me prisoner on an island of impossible puzzles. He was a vengeful, tormenting spirit that I, if granted the opportunity, would have delighted in shoving into a well. Speaking broadly, I would consider both of these reactions a success artistically. I had emotional reaction to a line puzzle, no small feat. I don't mind being tormented by a developer if it serves a purpose. The problem with The Witness, and where I suspected its spell may be undone for some, is when it feels like Blau had left the room. The question I've gotten most frequently from coworkers when they find out I'm reviewing The Witness is if I've gotten the hook or the twist yet. The assumption is that a simple sequence of hundreds of maze puzzles can't be the next project from the creator of Brad, a game in which narrative was so essential that it was inextricable from the mechanics. Surely it can't be that simple. It is. Oh, don't mistake me. There's a beautiful, defiantly colorful world to explore. Plenty of little hints of how it came to be. The Witness is loaded with plotmosphere, a useful bit of knowledgeism that would probably make Blau cringe. But mechanically speaking, The Witness is maze puzzles. Full stop. That's also highly reductionist take. It's like saying that book is just words. What makes The Witness interesting is not solely the solving the puzzles, it's the way in which the player must discover what I come to think of as the puzzle vocabulary. Every puzzle is a maze, but most mazes have multiple paths, and to find the correct one you must understand what the symbols scattered through the mazes mean. To use one of the earliest examples, some mazes are populated by black and white dots. The rule, which you are taught via a sequence of puzzles that unpack the knowledge like a Matryoshka doll, and that wherever line you draw from the entrance to the exit must segment the map in such a way that black and white dots are never in the same section. This is a constant. Once a rule like this is established, it is unchanging throughout The Witness. That rule, however, is combined with and even subverted by other rules to create something of a rudimentary language. Learning that language is half of the fun of the game, no more than half. When I asked coworkers for help with solving some of the couple of the late puzzles, sorry, I was weak. It took just as much time for me to explain the rules of what I was doing as it did for them to solve it. My analogy of a puzzle vocabulary was more APT than I initially realized. The information I held in my head about puzzles in The Witness was literally better expressed via signs and symbols and experience than it was via English. It's all done without a single written word instruction. That's an astounding achievement in a pure game mechanic design and should be applauded. Locking in one piece of the puzzle vocabulary, especially after plenty of struggle, is more satisfying and impactful than finding the Master Sword in the Lost Woods or most any other game achievements I can recall. But after the revelations, there were still the actual solutions to find, and thus the first hints of a tedium started to bog things down. I'm not not suggesting a hint system which would feel out of place, but The Witness throws endless puzzles at the player while almost never recognizing their accomplishments, which creates something of an antagonistic relationship between player and creator. I fear that will send players running to walkthroughs faster than they would have in a more rewarding environment. There has been a lot of hubbub made lately about the cost and length of The Witness. If I were to estimate, I would guess I spent 15 to 20 hours making my way to something I would consider an ending. There is more to discover in the world, I'm certain of it, but I was pretty happy with what I was able to uncover in my playthrough. That said, I doubt I'll be heading back in for a completionist run. It's a beautiful game, and knowing that I finished it with minimal help actually does make me feel smarter. It also contains some subtle messages about human potential that I found surprisingly uplifting when I wasn't pulling my hair out. Despite feeling deeply satisfied by the experience, it's hard for me to ignore how much time I spent frustrated and bored and angry. Maybe contrasting those two ends of the emotional spectrum is essential to the experience of playing The Witness, but in an era in which they skip the frustration, I'm not convinced most players will have the patience to obtain it. Thus, I give The Witness 8 out of 10.